Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to another Europa Universalis 4 game with RedBstrd. And we're continuing our Delhi campaign, where we're going through and explaining all the decisions that we're making. Before I launch this, let me just bring down the volume. I was doing some playbacks and had to adjust volume. Just hear the background noise really loudly. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here we are as Delhi, and we're going to launch that game. So we've had pretty good growth so far. Let's double check the date. I haven't been watching that very much to see how far into the game we are. So it's only 1497, so we're about just over 50 years into the game, not even 55 years in. So this is pretty good growth rate that we're almost able to form Hindustan. We really need one more war of conquest to defeat Malwa. And we can launch that war in 1501, in 4 years. We can find something else to do in the meantime. Can't quite war with Nepal yet, because we do have that peace treaty that's going to last until 1502. I'm going to bring down my volume on my end a little bit more, so forgive the graphical twitches. It would be nice at some point if we could vassalize Baluchistan, and maybe we might be able to, but that's a tall order. Yeah, it's a long shot. As we develop more, that might be a possibility. And we are going to be developing as our means of trying to get colonialism, which is going to spawn in 3 years. Okay, so we're ahead of time in diplomatic technology. I do want to work on this idea group. I guess we could save these points for development. I think we'll mostly be using military points for that, as I really do want some of these influence ideas as quickly as possible. This third one is really nice. I mean, the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth ones are what we're really interested in. That aggressive expansion idea is just going to be wonderful for us. And as always, we're just going to dismiss the alert that we can convert provinces. I really don't want to convert anything, except for I'll be converting any Shiite lands we get. Because we don't actually have very good tolerance of Shiites. They will bring down religious unity. So if eventually we push westward into Persia, I'll have to convert that stuff. We're fabricating on Malwa, because we are planning on taking some other land. We obviously have a core here, so that's high priority. But then there's other things that we can take to help us form Hindustan. Bagelkand is now integrated as of next month. I'll temporarily, for 10 years, bring down their diplomatic reputation, making it harder to pick up alliances, vassalize people diplomatically, and integrate new vassals. Okay, lots of Kathiawari separatists over here. Still some Mewari separatists, but I don't think they're ever going to rise. As soon as we core everything, it's going to get that national unrest from overextension drop down that last point we needed to. Okay, we could have 9 rebels rise up in Dundar, we can give away autonomy, or we can lose monarch points. But we've got troops right over by Dundar, I'm sure. Am I not seeing it? Oh, it's up here. It's not where I'd expect it. Okay, let's move our army over. I thought that was further east. Don't know why. Remember, it's from Dundar when we conquered it, so I should have known where it was. Generally, my geography is pretty good. Sometimes it fails me. Okay, these May warriors are suppressed, but we're going to need to move these troops east to Jampur. So we're going to be facing a rebellion here and a rebellion here in the next few months. And yeah, as we record this now, the Maywaris are starting to disband. And now we only have 4 out of 5 diplomatic relation slots filled. So let's try to get Guj up here as a vassal. They send us royal marriage. Sure. Okay, Gathi War is suppressed. And our general, Siddhat Rana, has become battlefield medic. So he reinforces these beat up units 33% more quickly. Oh, that's nice. We actually can't support all of these troops here, so we'll just put them in Baroda, and they can get across quickly enough. And there's only... actually, let's move them to Lower Doab. And then if we have Lower Doab and Jaunpur occupied, we should be able to prevent these rebels from even raising up. Let's proclaim a guarantee over Guj. I do like their flag, it's kind of cool. Never played as Guj. Seemed like an underdog that might be fun to play. You can form Tibet, for instance. And that's pretty cool. Tibet has some pretty nice military ideas from what everyone said. I don't think I've ever played as them. Maybe once. No, I played as Nepal, and that was fun, but I've never played as Tibet. Nepal has got good military ideas. Yeah, we are successfully suppressing those rebels down. And we should be able to get them within vassalization range. All we have to do is just ask them for trade power. It's so weird that this improves your relation with them. But the way I envisioned it is that if you ask them for trade power, they're confident that you're serious about the alliance and protecting them. So it's just the next step on the way towards vassalization. As soon as these relations drop, their loyalty drops to 75, I will lighten their tax. Okay, Diwani script. Cursive style of Arabic calligraphy originating in the Ottoman Empire of the 15th and 16th centuries. The Diwani script was thus named for its intended use on royal decrees issued by the Ottoman Diwan, the cabinet of the Ottoman state. Strengthen our rule by proclaiming our edicts and the word of God in the harmonies of calligraphy. We can make it so. Cost of 30 administrative power. For the rest of the game, we can get +1 legitimacy per year. Yeah, that's really good. I even pay 100 administrative power for that. I'm worried about the level of influence held by our emirs, but that should decrease over time. And we could strip them of land if they do get too powerful. Okay, so we could go over in diplomatic relations slots to pick up Chanda or Bastar as a vassal, but I'm not going to do it. It's not critical for us. I would much rather save that extra point per month and try to get some of these ideas more quickly. Better relations over time decrease, so people won't get over our aggressive expansion as quickly. Bengal isn't the biggest friend of us. Let's buddy up to them further. Mao was trying to invade Gujarat. Better hope that they win that war and win it quickly, because things are going to get ugly for them really quickly. Okay, so let's pick out our targets here. We're going to want to invade and capture, gain some piety. We're going to want to capture Mansour very quickly, and Mantla. Mandu is pretty important as well, because we need Chanderi, Mandu, Mandala. Nice aggressive expansion impact. Reduced by 20% for the next 10 years. Wonderful. Suffering a little attrition here. So let's pull these troops north for a few months. Okay, the emirs lost a lot of influence, so I feel a lot better about that. And we did lose our modifier that was giving us one extra diplo relation slot, so it's good that we didn't look for any more vassals. Okay, professional officers, we want a better officer corps. I can't justify doing it because colonialism is going to spawn really quickly. I'm surprised it didn't happen at the beginning of the year. And the Ottomans are invading Timurids. Wow, they don't often do that, but be interesting to see what they take. Okay, we have 26 spy power. Let's fabricate another claim. We want Mantla. Actually, Mahakashal. And if we're going to reach our cap here of 999 points, it starts with a base of 999, but then moves upward if you have corruption, increases it to accommodate for higher tech costs. And if you start falling behind in institutions, your cap increases as well. Okay. Let's pull back this advisor for a month. And they're already at war, so they're paying their troops their full wages. We don't need to wait for the first of the month. We're going to announce Chanderi as our war goal. Our allies won't come in, they don't have any allies, so let's just declare it. Let's send these 4 units of horsemen there, so we can capture the war goal, because they're not needed in the siege. So Malwa is winning their war against Gujarat. But not for long. As they're going to start getting more and more war exhaustion as we capture their forts. And I don't want Gujarat capture Mandu. I'm not sure if we can even get there at the moment. We can. So let's put some of our army there. It looks like our subject Jharkhand wants this province of Sarguja. We'll let them have it. That's fine. So it seems that no one at the beginning of the year had yet fulfilled the requirements to get colonialism to spawn in their country, which is pretty surprising. I think that at least Portugal did, but who knows? There might not even be a Portugal right now. I mean, I assume there is, but you never know. Actually, let's let this fort recapture this province. As it was controlled by Gujarat. So remember, there's a zone of control, and if no one is on the fort sieging it down, and no one is on the nearby provinces they're occupied, this fort will liberate Malwa's provinces. There's some poor government policies. We either declare that we're doing the right thing, or we try to fix those policies. We're going to fix policies because we have plenty of money, and we're just saving it up for circumstances like this. Okay, we're about maxed out. We're going to have to buy this stuff ahead of time. And it's the last day of the month. So I'm going to upgrade our troops right now, even though they'll temporarily be a little vulnerable. And we want offensive guys, so the difference here, we can see there's 4 on offense versus 3 on offense, and 3 on defense versus 4 on defense. We're going to go for the offensive guys. And they lost a lot of morale. They're going to get some back on the 1st of the month. I'd be surprised if Mal was going to give up their siege to try running up there to eject us. And then I think it would still be a hard fight for him to do that. Actually, eject us, that is. Okay, I want to take a second to make sure everything looks like it's going fine with our recording. It seems to be. Hopefully the sound quality is fine. I am trying messing around with my mic a little bit to make sure that we get as little background noise as possible, a little breathing as possible. Now was. Oh, we ran out of manpower really quickly. We're going to decline their offer because we want a little bit more war score. 94, we can basically take whatever we want at this point. Let's do that. So the most important ones are these 4. Going to pick them up. We'll take that. We want our core. We want our borders to look nice. We want to feed our vassal. And that will upset 4 different nations, none of which we care about. So then we'll take all of their money. Puts us back up to 73 overextension. As long as it's not over 100, I'm okay with it. So we have 2 forts here, basically serving the same purpose. I'd rather have the fort in the hills. Let's put these troops up here. Okay, same here. This one is the more defensive one. Because the terrain modifier is more punishing to anyone that we're trying to eject. Well, is it really? -1 dice roll, -25%. It actually doesn't seem to be. It's the same modifier. We're going to get rid of that castle. We're going to keep this one because it protects our coast. If somebody moves up to Baroda, they have to go up here. They can't pursue on. And this one, if somebody lands troops, they have to go here. If they land troops here, move forward, they'd have to go there. So it's nice positioning. Somebody could march up here, but then they'd be stopped by Beard. This is a nice spread. Basically, the only one who could easily avoid it would be Nepal, can move troops over here and strike directly at our capital. We need to improve relations further with Bengal. It's not critical, because eventually we're going to conquer them. I'm thinking that it's about time to check on new marketplaces. We picked up any centers of trade. We should build some marketplaces there. Doesn't seem to be the case. We could look at our trade map and it would show us. Like this is a center of trade. If we capture Surat, we'd want to make sure that there's a building there. We could start building some more temples to get us more cash with the really nice provinces we have. And then some more barracks for manpower. So we've got this nice strip of really developed provinces with lots of nice buildings on them right up here. Okay, that's enough for now. And now this loyalty has decreased the point that I do want to give them lower taxes. If we gave some stuff to our emirs, I could ask for more manpower. Okay, I don't think we actually really need to fabricate any more claims on Malwa. Because very soon we're going to form Hindustan and get claims over all of India. BJ is attacking Gujarat. Oh, our army leader died. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it's 1503 and there's still no colonialism. So we could have gone for colonial ideas as soon as we got our coast and tried exploring around, go for South Africa, go for these islands in South Indian. No, Malwa. Try for Australia and see if we could investigate the New World. But it wouldn't have given us too much of a margin of time in which we could have explored the New World, because we'd have to start colonies down here and make our way down to South Africa and then snatch up an island over here in the South Atlantic. Ew, our Sultan is craven. So our troops fight less fiercely. So I think he needs to die and let his daughter take over. Don't be sexist, dude. Just die. When's your daughter to roll? Let's just die. We can force him to abdicate once he reaches 6 years old if he's been in power for 20 years. And he's been in power for 10. Plus another general. Okay, we're probably going to deal with rebels, so let's go ahead and hire some replacement generals. No, we don't really need to improve relations with Jarkand. We are integrating them in already. Which one of these would we rather have as a vassal? I'm thinking, let's see if any one of them has cores on the other one. Don't have cores on anyone. They don't have cores on anyone either. The Monis, if they liked us more, we could try vassalizing them. But yeah, they don't like us at all. Guess we'll just buddy up to our allies for now. Lucastan is the ally we're most interested in keeping, by the way. Because everyone else in the Indian subcontinent is eventually going to be our food, rather than our ally. But we can keep them as friends if they're small enough to where we could annex them. We vassalize them and annex them, that's perfectly fine. Army costs just went up by that event. I guess I should have lingered over it and explained what it does. Okay, honorable people. So we're getting this because we have no corruption. So Delhi is one of those rare places where principles matter over personal gain. So even abroad, Delhian expatriates are sought after for positions of trust. They can be expected to reject bribes. So we get 20 prestige. Nice. And this happens every once in a while that somebody won't fulfill the requirements. And often if I'm playing outside of Europe, I will take exploration. If I'm playing, for instance, in Madagascar, it makes sense to try colonizing down into South Africa. If you're playing in the Indonesia region, it makes sense to colonize the Spice Islands. But when we were inland so far... Okay, so our coring is going underway. And the country of Karakayanlu has a disaster. So we've seen one of these disasters before. It started to make a little bit of progress. I think it was the Peasant War, because we ran out of manpower and then we had some events strip us of stability. And how they function is that there's some set of criteria. The country is going through some sorts of bad events or crises, like really low stability, really strong cleavages between the religions that they don't accept, really low legitimacy. Something's going really wrong. And then, if those problems aren't resolved quickly, there's progress that gets made along the little progress bar. Once it fills up, it triggers this event. So this just happened to them. Their bar filled up full, and they now are in a disaster, the disaster of internal conflicts. So they produce a third fewer goods. So they lose on production income, they lose on trade power, their stability becomes more expensive. And they will see some rebellions and other nasty events start to pop up, until they can resolve some set of criteria to fix it. And if they get the disaster, it'll tell them exactly how they can get out. So disasters will happen for certain countries. English, for instance, usually find it very hard to get out of the War of the Roses. That's quite often something that strikes them. Or Castile. Could get the Castilian Civil War. Those are pretty common. A lot of disasters like that that are scripted and are basically very hard to avoid. Ooh, Ottomans like that. They would take an alliance. Oh, well. Meet our new friends. They're fellow Sunnis. And they could be the emperor in the west, we will be the emperor in the east. If we had more manpower, I would just invade Timurids right now in support of our brave Ottoman allies. We're going to get our next influence idea, because we are gunning for some of these. It's got us a little bit closer to our court Persian. That'll be nice. Yeah, I think once we put down this, these two revolts, we'll invade. Okay, we can give some monopoly charters, give our merchant guilds a little bit more loyalty and influence, and then get some diplo points from them. Do the same for ulama for administrative points. It looks like Malwa won that war pretty decisively, reducing Gujarat to a one-province minor nation. Okay, Ottomans signed the peace deals. They just took the western part of Persia. That's finally a worthy ally for us. The number 1 and number 2 great powers in the world are now allied. And they're allied to France, who is the number 3. The Ottomans have unquestionably the best alliance system in the world, from what we can see. France could have a lot of allies that we don't know about that are substantive. And we've got a pretty respectable alliance system. Oh. Back up. And I'm not scoffing at our alliance system either. BJ, Bengal, Baluchistan, and of course the Ottomans. That's a substantial set of powers on our side. Okay, Bundelkund. Let's move this army up here, now that we no longer have to worry about rebels here. They've already been broken. We can't expect another uprising for 10 more years. Okay, aggressive expansion. No, we really don't want that. I support 21,000 troops here. So that's 22, so that's 21 if we pull these guys north. And of course they recover from their casualties. And merchant class is getting 10 more influence, so we're only at 48 right now. So that's fine as long as they're under 80. I really don't mind. If we gave them some more land, we could take some money from them. That's going to have to wait until we take Surat to get that coastal center trade. I mean, we can give our merchant class other stuff. I'd rather give a lot of stuff to our Demi. Speaking of that, we didn't give them anything that we conquered because we can't add it to states yet. And I think this video's gone on quite long. Yeah, 35 minutes. So we're going to stop here and I'll start up a new video. Thank you for watching.